Hello, it's Meryle Holland again from Tuliptoppers. Even messier, but I can't do anything about that. This is Magic Foam Part 2. So I'm going to just show you a few more variations on what we've already done. Again, using your crafting techniques, but in a different way. Now, you'll see me use some stamps in this one. I'm going to do quite a few with the stamps. And I'm using Sheena Douglas stamps because they're absolutely perfect for this sort of technique. So thank you, Sheena. I don't colour in, but I do like using your stamps. So I'm going to use some here. I'm going to do exactly the same, only this time I'm going to use paint and self-adhesive paper, and I wouldn't be me if I wasn't using self-adhesive paper. Those of you that know, everybody nicknames me Mrs. Sticky. So there we go. Right, now firstly, let's take that's what I'm going to do. Taking a piece of the foam, and obviously you can't do anything with the magic foam until you've made it magic. So you have to heat it. This one's been used before, so I'm just taking out the pattern. Do not use stays on ink on it or permanent ink, because although you'll take the depth out of it and the impression, you won't be able to take off the colour of the ink. So keep it with inks that you can wipe with a baby wipe. Right, so that should be heated enough now. Try this one, it'll be slightly larger than the block, but that doesn't matter. Okay, should be standing up, but never mind. Right, now by rocking it backwards and forwards, you'll see I've got this on some copper sheet. Now I'm doing some fantastic crafting ideas with this, which will be coming out in the next few weeks. So watch this space. Won't be anything to do with magic foam, it'll be totally different techniques. So we've now put the stamp on one side, we've finished with that, and we've now got an impression on there of the stamp. And so you remember, when you're stamping, the lines you colour in from. When you're doing it on the magic foam, it's the reverse. So the lines are indented, and the indented bits on the stamp are the bits that get the colour, but you'll see that shortly. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm using some acrylic paint, some acrylic metal paint, metallic paint, and it's good stuff, and all I'm going to do now is just tap all over. I know I shouldn't contaminate the things, but I'll wash them all later on, I promise. So we'll just get some different colours on here, and a little bit more silver. You can use any colours, it's just these are the colours I have in front of me, so these are the colours that are getting used. Now, always have a great big jumbo roll or baby wipes with you when you're doing this. Now what I want to do now is, I've got a piece of paper here, but it's self-adhesive. So what I'm going to do now is just stamp onto the self-adhesive. There we go. Now then, I'm just going to leave that to dry for about 5 minutes or whatever. I could dry it with the heat gun underneath, but I'll come back to that one. So that's that one there. Now I'll show you something else that I did just a little bit earlier, but I'll explain it to you. Again, if you look at this, that is a die there, and I've gone off the edge with it, so it doesn't really matter. So that's an ordinary die. I've put it over a piece of the foam, so we've gone like that, and we've gone onto there, and I've put one of the Tim Holtz movers and shakers, the little dress foam die. That's all that I've done with that. Now again, this time I've used distress ink, it doesn't matter, and I've just covered it, pinked, you know, done it with the ink, and just made a background. Now I think that's pretty attractive. But that could be, you could then die cut that, you can cut the shapes, you can put it on the front of a card, you can do what you want with it. But this also could be in different colours, so you could graduate it, you could make a better job of it, because I am not doing designs here, I'm giving you tips and hints so that you can do your own designs. That's the piece if you just want to cut it as a single piece. You could do what I'm showing you shortly with the adhesive, but you could just do it like that. You can then go over it, you can wash over it with more ink, you can colour it in, you can emboss it so it's got texture, you can do what you want with it, but that's just all from one piece of magic foam. Then you've got another one there that I just did again using one of Sheena's stamps, only this time I just put some ink on the piece that I did. It was this stamp and I've put some ink on it, different inks, and it's come out in variegated colours. This one again on here I've done exactly the same, only I've used, there's one of the background embossing folders, I can't even remember which one it is, it might be musical, so it doesn't matter because it's just given a pattern on the back, a tattered leaf die cut, a swirl and a little music die cut. They're all cut out of either very thin card or paper. There you go, look. And again, I've put this with embossing ink. I've just put different ink all over the stamp, stamped it onto a piece of paper, covered it with clear embossing ink, and that's the result that you get. So again, it's a whole new way to stamp, but you can make your stamps match your main stamp. So if you're going to put your, you have a stamp and it's going to be the main focus of your card, and you're going to colour that in and you're going to make it whatever, a work of art, that's fine. What I'm saying is you can do a different topper, you can do different backgrounds, you can use all sorts of things. It doesn't take away from what your stamps are, it just means that you're getting a totally different, a different purpose with it. So we've now got that done. I think I'll do another stamp one while we're at it, just to show you the different effects. Sorry about the rustling, folks. How about a peacock feather? There we go. And what about a peacock feather with a musical note in the middle? That's different. Totally different. I don't even know if this is going to work. Oops. That's my glasses gone for a Burton. It's a good job I don't need them. What you see, folks, is what you get with me. I'm sorry. I'm not going to scrub up and be something I'm not. I'm not going to talk posh and be somebody that I'm not. If you don't like me, you've got an off button. I am what I am. Oh dear. Wherever in the world you're watching me, happy crafting. Right. Right. Now you've still got a little bit of a pattern on. Ignore that, that's just the ink that I didn't wipe off from before. So we've now got another pattern there. And I'm not sure whether to do this with the... In fact, I think I will. I'll do it with the ink. In the same way that I explained to you. So I'll do a little bit of ink there. Don't cringe, I'm trying not to contaminate them. A bit of yellow. Oh, this is I've got a bit of pink on. Put a bit of blue on. I've no idea what that's going to look like, but this is part of the fun. Right, I'm going to do this on a... There we go. And I'll get the embossing powder. There we go. Clear embossing powder. Quick as you like, because I've used Distress ink and it does dry quite quickly. Please note the icing sugar shakers. Everybody remarks they are not crafting ones, they're icing sugar. But they work. Okie dokie. I'm sure you've all seen embossing before, but what I like with this is the random effect of the different colours. Big and juicy are quite good for this, but they're very hard to get hold of now, so I just tend to mix them up as I go. So that's a variation on a theme. So if you remember, we used that stamp, which is a beautiful stamp on its own, particularly for gilding flakes. So we've used that stamp, and this time we just put a cut-out music note on the top of it. So instead of putting something underneath or putting an embossing folder behind, it's endless. You just look at what you've got and do something different with it. So that's as simple as that. You could then, if you wanted, you could take some of your gilding wax, anything you like. This is Pin Flare Buffet. It's the same sort of thing. And then you could just, you know, sort of go into it with your different colours and highlight it, and you're getting the metallic effects. And don't forget I'm rushing this, so anybody following this, it's not